Hi, and welcome to Child Observation and Assessment. In this video, I am going to welcome you to the class. I'm also going to go over the course content and course structure on Canvas, and I will also go over the syllabus and how to contact me as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by sharing the screen. So this is our CDE-03 or Child Observation and Assessment page on Canvas. So whenever you come and log on to Canvas, it will always look the same. This first module, Welcome Start Here, is our welcome video that you're watching right now. So you've gotten this far, but this page will always be available to you. So for the rest of this 8 weeks of class, you will always have this welcome video if you ever wanted to go back and get some specific information. You'll also always have the syllabus, and you also always have our free online textbook as well. So this page is always available to you for support 24/7 if you ever need it in this online asynchronous class. So as far as our kind of syllabus, I'm going to take you through it briefly and kind of hit on the bigger parts that you need to know for this class. Once again, the syllabus will always be in this first module here on Canvas. So this is our observation and assessment class. This class is online and asynchronous, and it's also fast track. So that means that we're never going to meet in person. It's always going to be completely online. And by asynchronous, it means that we won't have specific times and dates that we'll be meeting. You'll be doing the weekly work on your own time and schedule. So I will release content and assignments, and you will get it done within a week's time or 2 weeks' time. By yourself. So if you're very busy nights and weekends or throughout the day, whatever works best for you and your schedule. The best way to contact me is to email me. So here's my email right here. You can call me Jolie or Professor Van Squik. For whatever reason, Chafee uses my full birth certificate name, which is Crossway Van Squik, which is a hyphenated last name that I've never used, not since I went to kindergarten. So not since the early 80s have I used my full name, but for whatever reason, they use my birth certificate, and that's how they got my email. I'll show you another easier way to contact me as well in just a few minutes. I check my email Monday through Friday, typical business hours, 9 to 5, something like that. I check about 3 times a day as well. And whenever I see a question or an email from you, I will put a response in as soon as possible. But do expect to reply within 24 business hours. I'm not a bot. I am not a robot. I am a real life person behind the screen, setting up this class, answering your questions, making video lectures as well. So I don't work 24 hours a day. I do try to sleep at night. I've got 3 kids at home, so I try to sleep. So expect to reply within 24 hours, and I don't check my emails on weekends as well. So I just do it I teach during regular business hours. If you need help or support, you can email me whenever you want, and I will get back to you during those kind of Monday to Friday hours. But feel free to ask me any questions, not in those hours, but just know that as a not robot, I will get back to you within a normal time frame as well. You could email me if you wanted to, but honestly, it gets transcribed and it goes straight to my message or my email as well. So you could email me, you could voicemail me if you wanted to, but it'll just go by an email and I'll email you back as well. So we're going to learn all about observation and assessment in this class. It's an 8-week class, like I said. So I'll kind of release kind of 6 parts. I break down kind of the course content into 6 weeks, which are then kind of broken up into 2-week increments. And in each of those kind of 3 sections, we learn about a different type of observation or assessment. So we do a deep dive in how to do it. It's a little bit different than how it has been done before. Before coronavirus, you would actually have to go and observe a lot in our lab school, at a child development center, or a licensed daycare. Besides the lab school, it's not really open for child observations as much as it was, and even the lab schools have less availability than they once did because we have to still maintain a lot of social distancing and masking within child development centers to keep all of our littlest ones as safe and healthy as possible. So actually your observations are going to be online. So I'm going to have a bunch of clips and opportunities for you to observe children online, and then turn in your assignments online as well. It's not really feasible to get all of the people into the classrooms as much as we once did. Hopefully we can start to get you in more, but we don't really have that opportunity right now. I do have office hours though, and they are Zoom office hours. So I will put up a Zoom link. It's usually every other week or twice a month. I'll have an hour or 2 hours. We'll have open office hours. You just click on the Zoom link. You go to a waiting room. When I'm done meeting with the student in front of you, I'll click you out of the Zoom waiting room and into our Zoom meeting where we'll meet face-to-face for you know, as long as you kind of need me to ask about content or jobs or say hi, anything like that. So I'm available for the Zoom office hours. I'll put the links up regularly. If you want to Zoom with me at another time, just email me with a couple days and times and I'll pick one and we can have our own Zoom. I can call you if you would like me to. You can give me your phone number and I can call you. And then Canvas has a function that's called chat. It's like text messaging. It's not as fast as text messaging. There's kind of a delay, but it's similar as well. I've done that with students as well. This class is your textbook. So the online textbook I just showed you, it will always be in that first welcome module on Canvas. It is a PDF text. You can download it, you can save it, or you can always come back to that page if you need to read from it. I wouldn't suggest printing it. It would probably be quite expensive, but it is a great PDF resource, and we will be reading throughout it this semester as well, these 8 weeks as well. So we do have class attendance still. You still need to regularly log on. You still need to regularly do your assignments that are assigned to you. So you need to prepare for by reading. You need to actually attend by logging on and spending time on Canvas. And then we also will have 2 discussions throughout the semester. So you'll be expected to participate in those class discussions as well. So you need to log on and take part in activities, lectures, and graded assignments at least weekly in order to stay up on this class. This class doesn't work by ignoring it for 7 weeks and then spending 4 or 5 days trying to get all of the observations in at once. Not only will you drive yourself, you know, you're just gonna have a really hard time. You won't learn everything and you won't pass the class if you try to do all of the work at the end of the class. It just does not work like that with child development. You learn something every week and you start to build upon it. So if you're not learning throughout the class, you're really going to struggle. So you need to be online at least weekly and submitting the assignments on time. For the most part, I don't accept late work, but I need you to kind of communicate with me. So I'm striving to be understanding, supportive, and encouraging, but I don't know that you're struggling or you have challenges or you have questions unless you let me know. So if you want to communicate with me some of the issues that you might be having, to the extent that you feel comfortable sharing, then I can work with you with due dates or support or getting you extra resources, but I need to generally know that something's going on with you or that you're struggling with course content in order to better support you. So please keep those assignments coming in on time, but if you are struggling, please also let me know so I can support you. For a 3-credit class, you should commit at least 9 hours per week to preparation, such as reading, to assignments that you're going to be doing, and watching video lectures. Plagiarism is against the school and instructor policy, and that would be just copying and pasting. So let's say I give you an assignment on like observations. Why should I observe? What's the point of observing? If you Googled why do we do child observations, and then you cut and pasted anything that comes up on that Google search, Canvas will automatically let me know. Canvas has a very sophisticated plagiarism detector, so it can find things from an online high school assignments that anybody turned in. It can find any website, it can find anything, and it will immediately send me a report that there was a detectable amount of plagiarism. It'll also give you a report as well, like, oh, it was only 11%, or 99% of this assignment was plagiarized. So you can never word for word copy and paste anything off of the internet or from somebody else, because Canvas will automatically find it. And then I'm going to have a conversation about that with you. I'm going to show you a way that you can get some tutoring, although we have great tutoring here at Chafee, and a lot of it is still Zoom and online. So the Writing Center and the English department still have support for students who are maybe trying to wrap their heads around what does plagiarism actually mean. And I will show you some of those resources in just a few minutes. So classroom etiquette, you're expected to be courteous and respectful in your online discussion spaces. Disrespectful comments will be removed at a minimum. There could be more. And then the Chaffey College Code of Conduct has specific information and policies regarding student conduct. So the student conduct we expect in in-person traditional face-to-face classes is also what we expect in an online space as well. So you need to be polite, appropriate, and respectful at all times. I typically, if anybody ever has a hard time with it, it's because they were trying to be funny or silly or irreverent. And that can be really hard online. We don't have any of this like nonverbal, you can't see somebody laughing or joking. And so something that you might intend as funny might come off as serious or disrespectful or rude or mean or unkind. So I often urge students to maybe not try to be funny, just answer the question in the discussion post, like introduce yourself or something like that. And don't try to be funny. If you do, you need a lot of emojis, appropriate memes, things like that in order to reinforce to people that you are being funny. Most times I would say, it's an academic space, you know, just kind of keep it to answering the question that I'm asking or post what you need in order to get the grade and maybe not try for kind of the stand-up comedy, which could be really hard to kind of for other people to hear or understand in an online space. I'll have more information on kind of netiquette and how you should act online in our first introduction post for this week where you're just going to introduce yourself. Social media, I do not consent to being filmed. No part of this class can be filmed. Not the links, not the videos, not the assignments, nothing like that can be filmed unless you have disability services supporting you. Sometimes students need that, and that will be an accommodation that will come from disability services. But you're not to post any classroom photos or film anything, and it cannot be posted to any of your social media platforms at all. Email, Chaffey is great about resources. I really love that about working here. Often they'll have giveaways, like, you know, little things like t-shirts. Sometimes it's been technology, like grocery cards. They have a whole pantry. So if you need to kind of check your emails to know when this free stuff is going to come available. I know you're thinking, God, another email for me to check. If you have too many emails, take your Chaffey and forward it to your personal or your professional email. So you're keeping abreast of everything that's kind of happening with us, like how we can help you transfer, how we can help you, you know, like they just gave away like free tickets to some like baseball game or something like that. So if sports is your jam, a lot of times people from the community will donate like 50 free tickets and you could be one of the people who will get those tickets, but you have to check your email. And that's also how I communicate with you. So if I needed to get hold of you, if I need to ask you a question, anything like that would go through Canvas to your email as well. So either check your student email once or twice a week or get it forwarded to your personal email, like your Gmail or your professional email as well, just so you're keeping abreast of all the great things that Chaffey has to offer and how me and your other teachers are going to kind of. Canvas grades is great if you turn everything in. So if you are turning everything in and giving me time to grade, then you will see the grades that you are getting. If you're not submitting things, Canvas will just show you what the grades you're getting on what you've submitted. So if there's 10 assignments and you've only submitted 5, maybe you got 100% all of those 5 assignments, but 5 out of 10 means that you're still only getting a 50%. So just keep in mind that you have to submit everything in order for me to grade everything in order for you to get a good grade. So Canvas only really tracks the things that you've submitted and kind of not the things that you haven't as well. The best thing to do is to, if you're really concerned about your grade, is to know that the total points is 215, broken up into kind of 3 different sections. And then off to the side, you can tally your own points of what you submitted and what's the grade that you earned as well. So disability support, I've designed this class for all students to succeed. Being inclusionary is a lifelong process though, and things I'm still learning all the time about how to be a better online teacher. If you do have a verified disability and appropriate accommodations, please let me know within the first 2 weeks so that I can better support you in this class. If you need any kind of special accommodations or you're feeling really anxious about tests or anything like that, please hit up disability support. They're great people, kind people, and they are more than happy to try to get you the accommodations you need so that you can be successful, not only in this class, but in all the classes that you might take at Chapin. So if you're feeling anxious or stressed about any part of this, disability support is often a great place to kind of see what kind of accommodations will better support you. So once again, we have a bunch of assignments. So you're going to do 5 online observations for 25 points each. So each week you'll have, I'll show you online kind of how I've structured it, but just know that there are 5 online observations. Normally you go out into the wild, into the lab school with the kids and everybody's running around, and or a licensed daycare facility or a Head Start or something like that. Once again, at least where I live, a lot of the child care centers are not allowing observations because we still are kind of dealing with social distancing and things like that as well. So we're doing ours online. You'll all watch the same clip, and then you will do different types of observations based on the clip. You'll also have 2 online discussion boards. One is for this week, and then one is in a couple of weeks as well. So that's going to be 40 points total. You'll have a final reflection. It's not a final exam. There's no like multiple choice or true false. It's a reflection on the process of observation, and that will be 50 points. So that's a total of 215 points. So keep an eye on Canvas grades, but only know that they only record what you submit, really, or they can only calculate your grades based on what you've submitted. And then also just make sure that you are turning things in as when it is due, so that I can get grades back to you as fast as I can. And then also so that you are going to get a good grade and you're going to be on top of it. So this is our general course schedule for the next 8 weeks. Today, this first week is just this welcome video, introductions, introduction to observations, and then introductions of the class and our discussion board. The first 2 weeks will be basics of observation. Weeks 4 and 5 will be specifics of observation, and then week 6 and 7 will be assessments and portfolios, and then week 8 will be a review and the final reflection as well. These are all the resources for our success centers, the library, health services, scholarships, CalWorks, the police department, career center, counseling, disability, Dreamers, EOPS, honors program, independent scholars, the pantry, the transfer system, all of those types of things are right there for you guys, and they will always be available on this syllabus, like I said before. So will this welcome video after I post it, and so will the free online textbook, which is a PDF. You can either save it or you can always come back to this page. So in addition, so I have the first welcome start here module. This will always be available once again for you. The second module is college and class resources. So in this student support and services and resources page, I have all of the resources I just listed from the syllabus. I've also put on Canvas for you guys with the appropriate links. So straight from this resource, you can click the link and it'll take you to the Canvas department that you need. So if you needed mental health help, or you needed health appointment, or you needed to find where the library was, anything like that, you can just click on that and that will help. For anybody who's new or newer to online learning, I have kind of 2 support guides about, is your computer ready? So kind of using Canvas, how you might use Canvas, computers, things that you need to know about working online as a student, and then the software for this class. You don't need to buy anything, just letting you know, like I use YouTube for my video, video lectures that I give to you guys. You'll have video lectures to get some course content in addition to assignments and reading. And so I use YouTube. You don't ever need to buy or subscribe to YouTube, but that's just the platforms that I use, just so you kind of know what to expect. So this week is a welcome video about child observation, just kind of the overviews of like, why are we even doing this? Why do we have a child observation and assessment class? Why is observation of children so important? So take a look at that kind of video lecture. And then for 20 points, you're just going to introduce yourself. So all you got to do is post who you are, a picture, read all about etiquette and how to be appropriate with each other. And that's it. You're going to have a lot more work this week on watching this video, finding textbooks, getting the support that you need, all of that type of stuff. So our kind of only point related assignment is to introduce yourself, and you have an entire week. So for this week 1, I'm going to open it on March 21st and it'll close on March 28th. So you have 7 days to reply and post in our discussion board. Week 2 and 3 will open on the 28th and it will go for 2 weeks. And at the end of those weeks, you have 2 observations as well. I'll have 1 video lecture on observation basics, and then you'll have 2 online observations that you do. Week 4 and week 5 will open 2 weeks after that. I'll have a video lecture on different types of observations we might be conducting, and you'll do a environmental observation once again online, and you'll do a checklist observation once again from an online video. Week 6 and 7 will be documentation and assessments. This is kind of like portfolios and things like that. You'll do a DRDP observation, which is desired results. If you don't know what that is, you will by the end of this week. Many of us already know what that is. We've been working in the field and we've done a desired results kind of portfolio and observations already. You're going to do one online as well. And then you'll also have a portfolio and assessment idea discussion post in week 7 as well, where you'll post with tips or tricks or hacks or ideas that you have for how you make portfolios or how you assess children. There'll be more information about all of these. Everything has more information embedded in it and specific instructions, the clips, the due dates, all of that as well. Then the very, very last week is just an observation reflection where you, for your kind of final assignment, are going to be reflecting on the process of observation. That's the general structure. So after this week where we just are introducing ourselves, everything will be in kind of sections of 2 weeks. So the first part will be basics, and then it'll be observation types, and then it'll be assessments. There's kind of 3 sections that we'll be learning about, and each section will be 2 weeks, and you'll have kind of 2 assignments within there as well. And that gets us the 8 weeks. This class goes by really, really fast. It's important you're online as much as possible doing those observations, because once again, you can't wait until week 8 and try to get all of your observations in. It's just kind of not humanly possible to observe and to do all of those observations. So it's something you need to do every week. I talked about some help that you might have. If you need help with plagiarism, writing, support as an English language learner, go ahead and hit this Smart Thinking Online Tutoring button, and this will take you to kind of Canvas embedded tutoring. It's got a lot of bots on it, but also has real life people at the end who could help you if you have a general question about plagiarism. You can't get on there and be like, Professor Van Scoit gave me this observation. Did I do it right? They don't know what my assignments are. They don't know how my class is structured. They're just designed to give you basic help on like how not to plagiarize, how not to cut and paste, how to quote something. You could give them an outline and say, did I answer the question correctly? That type of thing. It's general help. If you need specific help from me about specific observations, email me or message me. So if you go all the way to the left-hand part of the screen, you can see my mouse is circling inbox. The best thing to get a hold of me is just to go to inbox and to shoot me a message straight from there. That message will hit my inbox. I will see it and I will give you a response as soon as I see the email. Once again, not a bot, not a robot, a real life human person who tries to sleep at night even with 3 children. So whenever I see your email, I will respond to you. I don't see you ever really kind of face to face. So I do, I can't see if you're confused. So the best thing to do is come to those office hours that I will post information about in our announcements, or to just message me and email me whenever you feel stuck, you need help with course content, you're confused, or you just need support as well. You can always just come to my office hours and say hi, or talk about employment or getting permits or things like that as well. So I hope to see you in my office hours, and I hope that you will message me or email me throughout the class whenever you need additional support with this. Otherwise, I will be your instructor for the next 8 weeks while we will take a deep dive into observations and assessments. All right, guys, I'll see you later.